great to meet you, Jaren. Super excited about this. And I play basketball myself. And I was watching your highlights. I watch you play, obviously. And I see you do a lot of step backs, which is something that I'm really working hard on. So I I love everything that you're about and everything that you do. So I'm super excited to be chatting with you.
Well, I want to say at a young age, shooting a step back is hard. Like that is one of the toughest things you'll do in basketball is shooting step back. So practicing that right now is definitely big. That's definitely cool.
Probably not the same level of skill, but hopefully I'll get there at some point.
I'm about to say you got time. You got time.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm not even in high school yet. So, you've given back to your community, you hosted basketball clinics at your alma mater, have the Foxhole Family Foundation, and makes generous donations to help breast cancer survivors. How important is giving back and being involved in the community to you?
That's big. I mean, basketball is just what I do. That's my job. So that's not what technically that's not what I want to only be remembered for. Obviously people are going to think about that first, but for us, it's just continuing to be able to help people out. And there's more stuff that we want to do down the line that we haven't even, just started yet. So it's a lot more. I mean, I'm only in year 5, but there's a lot of things that, we want to do even when I'm done playing basketball and continuing to help people. So I think that's obviously we always say bigger than basketball, but that's really what it is.
I mean, I'm really just inspired by what you're doing. And that leads right into the next question. Your mom has an incredible story that you've talked about, her as a breast cancer survivor. And as we mentioned, the nonprofit and your donations. Just tell us about your relationship with your mother and how she supported you on and off the court.
That's good. I mean, we've always, just growing up, she's always been there. I mean, she worked at night for some years. She worked, 12-hour shifts, just so it could be easier on us and on us and our family. So it's always been great. I mean, growing up, she never missed any games. AAU, when I was playing football, all through high school, she never missed any games. So, and then AAU, you're driving here and there, and she was always on those trips, even though we knew when we got back, she had to go back to work. So it's always been great. And she watches every game since I've been in college and in the league. She texts me mostly after every game. So it's always been great. And then going back, we just try to spend time together.
Wow, that's some dedication your mom has and some
Yeah,
love.
she watches
That's
every
really
game.
admirable. That's really incredible. Wow. So Nike has a shoe coming out for kids designed with insights from young girl basketball players called the Nike Zoom Crossover. If you were a kid, what would you want in your shoe?
Well, when I was a kid, I wouldn't know what's actually in there, but besides a soft and light shoe, that's kind of what we were thinking about when we were growing up. So I mean, basically that, and then obviously with the Kobe's, after the Kobe's came out, everybody wants to play in low top. So I think as a kid, that would definitely be what I would be striving for, and what I would want in a shoe.
Yeah. I know you have a son. What does it mean to you to be a dad? And how do you balance being a parent and a pro athlete?
It's been great. It's definitely been great. Obviously, you're actually seeing someone grow up and seeing them take their first steps and hearing them speak and starting to put, full sentences together. So it's definitely been great. But I would say, I mean, one doesn't really overlap the other. They're two separate things. You're not worried about, the game when you go home. So, but it's definitely been great, being a father.
I mean, something that I'll never be able to go through. So it means a lot to be able to do that from this perspective of someone like you. Fun question. What is your favorite way to play with your son?
My favorite way to play, kind of just like, I guess like running around, playing like tag, hide and seek, little things like that. Those are, I mean, you kind of see how much fun they're really having when you're doing that. They're running as fast as they possibly can, trying to jump over things and not hit walls. So probably that, just running around playing tag or something.
I mean, it's the little things that mean the world to babies because
Very small.
Because the world is small to them. So any advice for parents or kids to play and get moving together?
I mean, really that just, I mean, you can do that inside, outside. Obviously, if you're inside, you're trying not to break something. If you're outside, you want them not to break themselves. But just that, I mean, you don't need much equipment to, have fun with the baby. I think it's pretty easy to have fun with them. Yeah, when they're young, they're not catching balls or throwing balls far enough. So it's just easy to chase each other around.
They're not really running that fast either, but so last question for you. What advice do you have for the next generation of athletes?
The advice I have for the next generation of athletes is really just work. I mean, obviously, it sounds cliche. We always talk about working hard, things like that. But I mean, that's what it is. That's really what it is. You know, you're not going to find a lot of guys that get to this level without being able to put the work in. And obviously, people want to be, a professional athlete or really at anything. You have to work hard to get there. And obviously, that's what we did. And it's a combination of talent and things like that. But to control what you can control, then it's simply to work hard and have to be able to sacrifice things. And you have to be able to be good with that.
Yeah, I mean, if you truly love something and you're passionate about it, you'll really do anything to achieve that goal. And I think that that's something that's really admirable from a lot of people. It's something that I even try to do and try to just harness my passion for journalism and basketball. So yeah, that's all for today. Thank you so much, De'Aaron. This was so much fun, and I hope it was as much fun for the audience.
Oh yeah, thank you for having me.
No problem. Thanks so much. You're really inspiring, and I love everything you're doing in the community.
Yeah, you keep doing what you're doing. You don't have to focus on one sport yet, because
Not
I mean,
yet.
yeah, like I say,
At
you're
some point,
young and you want to see what you're best at, what you really love to do, and after that, at some point you'll decide. But right now, just keep doing what you're doing.
thank you. And to everybody else out there, make sure that you also have fun doing what you're doing and you don't feel forced into anything and that you truly love what you're doing. And that can take you really far. So thank you again, De'Aaron. And yeah, that's all for today, folks. Thanks for watching.